With technology advancing as quickly as it is, the advent of AI and just app developing constantly, how do you keep on top of the features and benefits of the apps you're currently using and also ones you aren't using? This is a massive challenge for small businesses, especially when you've got a tiny team like me. And today I wanted to share an experience of something that happened in our daily stand-up this morning that I thought was a great opportunity for learning for our team, and I thought you might benefit from hearing it too.
So the question is this: how do entrepreneurs like us, who don't have an endless supply of cash, how do we leverage the best apps, virtual assistants, automation tools, and systems to scale our businesses, increase our profits, and have more time to do what we love to do each day? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name's Dr. Steve Day, and this is Systemize Your Success.
So to set the scene, we had our daily stand-up, which is a 15-minute meeting we have at the beginning of the day where we go around and share what the challenges are that we need help with, what we're working on, just to make sure we're all on track and we're actually working on the right things, and just an opportunity for the team to collaborate and to support each other going forward and to share any insights we might have. It's a brilliant opportunity for our team to get together, and this morning was a great example of that. So one of my staff members who is in charge of the production and promotion of my podcast mentioned that she was going to add some tags into our software which publishes our blogs or our podcast page onto our WordPress site. The app, if you're interested, is called StoryChief, which we have a lifetime access to, and it just allows us to basically create our content in one place and then publish it across different channels. There's loads of other different apps out there that do similar things, but it's just the one we happen to be using. And so in this example, Von mentioned that she was going to start adding tags onto our posts. And my question, I sort of like rewound. I was like, hold on a minute, what's this? And she said, yeah, so there's this feature on the app where you can add tags. And I was like, are we not already doing that? And she's like, no, we add keywords onto the post, but I've never, or one keyword onto the post, but I've never used the tag section of it. And the reason she noticed this was because a new app we're using called vidIQ, which you can currently, if you're listening to this right now, get on AppSumo for a lifetime deal. But vidIQ allows you to do SEO analytics on YouTube and to add things like tags using AI to make that process very simple and other stuff besides. And this particular, what we're talking about here is the adding of tags. So to make things more searchable and more relevant to people who want to find similar stuff to what they've already watched, or in this case, listened to, or they're doing searching on our blog or on Google, whatever. And so making our posts come up more frequently to the right sort of people. And in that app, one of the key things they do is tagging. So adding like keywords to our YouTube videos. And Von then, next time she logged into our StoryChief app, noticed there was this tag section that she'd sort of looked over before, but not really understood what it was all about. And she mentioned this, and I was like, great, okay, this is obviously a great thing that we have now aware of. And I could have been like, what do you mean we haven't been doing this? Like, this is such a basic thing, but the way I handled it, which I was super impressed with myself, was to say, this is brilliant. Like, going forward, we can now see, does this actually have an impact? Let's measure this. Let's make sure we're actually taking a note of when we start doing this. And obviously we track our website traffic, etc. anyway, but we can make a note of this is a change that's happening. And does this actually have a positive effect on our outcomes? And it also led to the opportunity for me to discuss that acknowledging the fact that one of my staff members, without any input from me, had noticed how to use an existing app that we are using with very little extra work required, literally just copy and pasting the work we already did somewhere else. So copying that into a different application will now hopefully have a positive effect on our business. So that was a massive win for me. Yeah, we could have done this months and years ago, and it would have been obviously better if that had happened. But the acknowledgement here was actually this is a really positive thing, that somebody has independently improved the way that we are working in the business without me getting involved and prompting them to do it. Because I actually do never log into many of the apps that my staff use now. So that StoryChief app I've talked about, maybe we've looked at it in a meeting and we're just like bouncing some ideas like once or twice in the past 6 months or a year, but I have no real idea how it works. I've never used it myself to post anything, but it's how all of our blogs and all of our other content gets out onto social media. So it's a key tool in our arsenal, but it's not me that has to know how to use it, so I don't know what all the features are. So the follow-on from this, except for acknowledging the positive outcome, was to say, look, this is a great opportunity to remind us all that actually keeping up to date with what our apps do, what features are available, which things we should actually be understanding and maybe exploring and working out, is this something we should be doing or not, is actually part of the job. It's not just about doing the version 1 of a process that you might document. So I'm all about creating operation manuals or SOPs for work so we can delegate work down and elevate people up. That's like one of my mantras. And this is brilliant for getting knowledge out of people's heads in a way that other people can use it. The risk is that when something's documented, that becomes the way it's done, regardless of the evolution of technology or the evolution of the process. And we've got to be really mindful that we need to constantly update and revisit how we do stuff to make sure it is the best practice for that moment in time and history. And this is one of those examples that the way it was done, like way back when we started doing this, was just like version 1 of this process. But version 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 needs to happen. We need to evolve things. And so one of the key things, the lessons or take homes from today's daily stand-up, was that one of the activities that every single member of our team, including myself, need to do is for the core apps that we are personally responsible for using, we need to be keeping up to date. We need to read those monthly app updates that come out, those things that you often just trash and think, oh, I'll get back to that sometime. Like putting time aside, just 5-10 minutes, when those things come out, schedule them to be actually read and absorbed, and to see, are there any new developments in this particular piece of software that actually do need to explore in more detail? Is this something we need to, for example, bring up in our marketing meeting to say, hey, app X has just released this new feature. I think it's going to be really beneficial. I'm going to put some time aside to test it and implement it and actually measure the effect of that change and see if it's actually worth us, doing going forward. And having those conversations as part of our team meetings allow other people to be aware of what's going on as well and what's available, but also make sure that we are continuing to get the most out of the apps we're paying for anyway. So we might as well actually keep abreast with those features. And as a business owner of a tiny micro business, if that's you, then I think you've got to be mindful that the people that we're employing sometimes don't have the massive expertise that we would love them to. Like if we were bigger businesses, you might have a marketing department where you've got people who are like, this is all they do and all they think about. But if you're anything like me, like my staff have to be a bit of jack of all trades because they're involved in so many different parts, because we don't have different teams for every different part of the business. So people chip in and help out in different areas and different departments so as to, as a whole, be able to get everything done. But the risk of that is we don't have any experts in any particular one field. And so therefore, encouraging and reminding our staff to actually keep ahead of the game by keeping an eye on what's going on and being aware of how that might actually be beneficial or not to the business is a massively positive thing. Thank you very much. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do share it with your friends and loved ones and colleagues and all that. And feel free to leave us a rating if you enjoyed it too. 5 stars is always nice. And yeah, except for that, have a fantastic day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.